Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 84 of your favorite podcast in the history of the universe. It is Survival of the Fitted. I'm your favorite co-host in the history of the universe. My name is Joe Williams, aka Joey DiMaggio. We got none other than Ian Pierno in the building today, ladies and gentlemen. Got a special podcast in store for you guys. How are you doing today, my guy?
Good. I feel like this episode is the beginning of a new era. Like, you know, you a Bible guy. You know how there's, what is it, AD and BC? Is that what it is? Yes.
Yeah, I think
that is
before
it.
Christ, after death. Yeah.
Yeah, like New Testament, Old Testament, like shit like that. Like, I feel like we just hit the New Testament.
Are we in a new era? Have we unlocked a new frequency?
We're in the AD era, and I'm not talking about Anthony Davis. This is the new era. We just had Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade on our podcast.
We did. That was a beautiful moment, man. Craziest FaceTime call I've ever got in my life.
What was?
When you called me, I was like, what in the world? Are you absolutely kidding me? I was like, it was my brother's birthday. I didn't have my phone on me because, you know what I'm saying?
When I called you to say you're going to Vegas.
So I went back inside my house. Got a little FaceTime from Ian, which could be anything because Ian's a big FaceTime caller. He'll probably FaceTime call me to ask me anything that could be a text message, and I'm all for it. So I was like, okay.
It's more personal.
It was more personal. So he's like, hey, call me back. It's urgent, but it's fun. And I was like, oh, crap. Called him back, and he hit me with the news. He's like, hey, do you want to fly out to Vegas to go do this, that, and the third? And I'm like, 100%. Hang up. Tell him yes. Like, so yeah, we're living in our post-Melo Wade pod era, and I'm enjoying it, truly. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it feels good. I loved reading through all the comments that everyone was leaving on like Discord. And then obviously just in the IG comment section too. Thank you to everyone that likes my Tamagotchi necklace. I think the coolest I've ever felt was when Dwayne Wade walked in and was like, I like your piece. And he touched my Tamagotchi necklace, which made me feel good. Wait, we can just talk more about the pod now. We haven't talked about like the experience doing it.
Yeah.
But Joe, you got like a huge compliment.
What was my compliment? Because I'm forgetting.
Well, who's your favorite player?
Oh,
and this was unprovoked. So before Joe tells this story,
cool.
Joe's favorite player is D'Angelo Russell. No one in the room knew this. Go.
Oh, yeah. So no one in the room knows this. Carmelo is kind of chilling. He's vibing in the corner. He's pressing low-key me and Ian. He's like, so how come you guys don't post me on LeagueFits? Like, what's good?
Oh,
like, what's good
he came in mad.
Oh, yeah. Favorite player, D'Angelo Russell, asterisk, not named JJ Redick. Let's get that out the way real quickly.
Of course.
All right. He came in with him saying my man's was like low-key kind of heated. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, Carmelo was chilling. He was in the corner. He was like pressing me and Ian. He's like, dang, so like, what's good? Like, how come you guys don't post me on LeagueFits? I didn't make no first team, second team, honorable mention, nothing. And then that was I say that as like a reference point. D-Wade walks in and then he sits down and then D-Wade's like, oh, if you want to get posted on LeagueFits, you got to dress like this. And he was like kind of pointing at my outfit. And that's when Melo was like, what did he say? He's like, you got the D'Angelo pants on or something like that. Like something along those lines. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, yeah. And then as soon as he mentioned D'Angelo, that's when like Ian was like, whoa, you know, his favorite player is D'Angelo Russell. And then D-Wade was like, oh, that's my favorite player too. Okay, I feel it. And I was like, oh, that's fire. That was cool. It was a cool moment.
Joe received a lot of love from the NBA duo that we had on our podcast.
They were saying that. I don't know if you've seen that in the group chat on Instagram, the Cozy Fam group chat. They were saying that. It was like, man, like they were saying like Melo was like low-key like a fanboy of like me and you in a way. He was just like always looking over at us and making eye contact and talking to us on the side while they were like all having a conversation. That's what they were saying.
That's one thing about Melo. Melo was a huge eye contact guy. Like when Melo speaks to you, he looks at you.
I'm like that too, so I can respect that.
Yeah, I will say, so like Dwayne Wade was definitely like the most outgoing, like the most friendly. Like, you know, he does media stuff. So he's like, I mean, both of them do media stuff, but like Dwayne Wade is like super media trained, but like Carmelo owns a room. Holy moly. Like when he speaks, like everyone listens. And he doesn't talk a ton, but when he does, like everyone is like very locked in.
Yeah, 100%. I can agree with that.
These were two of the coolest dudes ever. I think we could tell this story. We were supposed to record the pod in the morning, right?
Oh, you want to go through that? Yeah, we can go through that whole day,
sure.
honestly.
Sure.
Yeah, do your thing.
So the night before we're in Vegas. Joe's never been in Vegas. We're like, oh, do we like go out? And no, we're professional podcasters.
Yeah.
So
100%.
we're like in the hotel room looking at a Google Doc, planning this podcast. We're really in our bag, right? And we're like, all right, we're going to go to bed. We wake up early. It's cool. We're all set up. We get to where they're going to be a little bit late. It's okay. That's pretty par for the course.
Adapt to survive.
Is that the saying? Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we're actually like feeling pretty good though, right? Like night before, we're a little nervous. Then it's the morning, and we're good actually. Like I'm pretty confident. We like run through the pod, da 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 da. And then this time just gets longer and longer. And I think you and I, ironically, got like more nervous and less confident. I don't want to say we had like a script, but like we had
talking points.
We had talking points to hit, and obviously it's a conversation. So if things go off of that, it's actually great. But you got to have those just in case. We can't just be like, all right, well, I guess we're done. We ran out of questions for you guys.
Yeah.
But I felt like as time went on, like you and I were, like I knew the outline, the talking points less.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah,
I was saying, I was like, man, like, because I was super chilling in the morning. Like when I woke up that morning, I was kind of like, I don't know how I felt the night before because I think it didn't hit me. But when I woke up that morning and I went on the Google Doc, I was like, oh crap, I'm doing this today. Like this is actually like all it hit. It's like hitting me. So I woke up and I was hella excited. That sounded weird, but like I woke up and I left the room, and then I was like stoked, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I was like I was like excited. I was in the vibe. And then when we went to the lounge that we were originally going to record at, because that's another thing. Well, I'll let Ian tell a story. The place that we recorded at wasn't originally the place we were supposed to record at.
Yeah.
So when we were in the lounge that we like switched the locations from, Ian was like, hey bro, let's like go over here and like practice. And I was like, practice a conversation? What do you mean? But that just adds to that when we started practicing, that's when I was like, dang, I'm getting like more nervous and like it's just weird.
You mean when we started practicing in the second location, right?
No, second location I was chilling. But the first location, the anticipation, it was like,
bro,
nervous.
There was so much anticipation. It was crazy because I'm like not a morning person. Like I hit snooze a few times. I purposely like pack in time so I can hit snooze. I was ready to go that morning. I woke up at like, probably like 8 a.m. on the dot. I immediately jump out of bed. Like the hotel room had like an iPad you could play music on. It was like a movie scene. I roll out of bed. I have like 90s hip hop blasting through like the in-room speakers. Like I pull up on Joe, who's like not even awake yet. I'm like, rise and shine. I'm already like dressed and showered. But anyway, all of this just to say there was so much anticipation and things like that. And then like once we sat down on the couch, it was smooth sailing. They were the coolest dudes ever. Kellyanne and Kalila killed it too. Yeah. Like everyone was so dope. We barely even looked at the outline we had. It was just a cool ass conversation.
And it was so cool about that too, was the conversation like kind of led the whole night in a way. But as I kind of glanced down at the outline at the end, we did hit like 85% of those talking points, if not all of those talking points, which is so cool because it wasn't forced at all.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Bro, what an experience. Like I don't, that's one thing you said to me, Joe, was you were like, Ian, you have a tendency to
play it cool.
To like play it cool. I'm not going to play it cool. We chopped it up with like two NBA legends and two iconic stylists for like almost like an hour and a half. Like that was very cool.
And I was saying this too. I was like, bro, like looking back on it, I feel like that was like the coolest moment of my life so far. But I remember saying, I was like, man, like the coolest moment of my life was also like the most documented moment of my life. Like there's so many pictures, so many videos. Joe had his IG posts like in his drafts for like a full 7 days. Yeah, like we were like we were at the airport and Joe was like, "So should I put the photos in this order?" Yeah, like hella calculated. Yeah, cool ass experience. Anyway, we won't like make you guys listen to us run victory laps anymore. But Joe, also if you're first time listening to the pod, besides that one, welcome.
Joe, what'd you do this weekend?
Oh, I love this question. What did I do this weekend? I did a bunch of cool stuff, but last night, I'm not a really big movie person. Like I'm not huge on like going to the movies, but I kind of like to like just watch the movies, you feel me, like in my crib and whatever. But I went to movies last night and I watched a movie by the name of Nope from Jordan Peele, directed by Jordan Peele. I'm kind of a fan of like his like direction as far as like being a director. That movie sucked. I don't know if anybody watched it who's like listening to this podcast, but one thing I'm not a big fan of, because I'm not going to spoil any of the movie or any of the plot line or whatever. I'm not a big fan of like when things can be a short film, but they stretch it out to like 2 hours of screen time. Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like, I don't like that. Like, I think it's a time thing for me. Like, I hate like sitting down for like 2 hours straight and watching something that didn't have to be 2 hours. But yeah, if you're like me, you know where I'm coming from on that one. But yeah, Nope, I wasn't really a big fan of that.
I saw that Logan Paul tweeted that he didn't like it. People were talking about that. And that's how I know it's fire. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm planning to this week. And if Joe and Logan Paul think something sucks,
my goodness,
it's probably awesome. Because Joe is also the person that think the Allen Iverson highlights are super overrated.
They are.
Like Joe's like the hot take king. But anyway, like if Logan Paul says it sucks and Joe says it sucks, like I'm actually like more inclined to see it.
You're gonna have to watch it, and we'll get your review on it afterwards. Cause
yeah, I'll tap in with you.
Yeah, actually, you might like it because it's kind of like basic with like UFOs and stuff too. So we'll never know. But
I'm into that shit.
Yeah.
This weekend I went to my buddy John is getting married at the end of this week. You've met John. You know my good friend John.
John Gertie. I think that's how you say his name.
Guidry? I don't know. He's been my friend for a while, but I'm not 100% sure. But he'll listen to this pod, so and cool. I'm sure he'll text me and correct me. But he's getting married. So anyway, he was having like a, boys weekend, whatever. And he invited me to go to like their paintball sesh. And I was like, okay, I'm down. Of course, like I don't really have plans. So I went. I got fucked up. I am horrible.
It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, I went paintballing
that
once.
Shit hurts. I went once in like 8th grade. It was like a super long time ago.
Same.
But oh my God, I was horrible.
Yeah.
Bro, but it was funny. I don't play Call of Duty like a lot, like often because I don't know. It's like pew pew, like blood. It's like not my thing. I play with like when I do play rarely, like I have like the blood filters turned off and like shit like that. But I play paintball the same way I played Call of Duty. Like I'd find, because it was like maps, like at this paintball course, and I would like find like a box or a room, or if there was like a building with a second story, I'd go to the top and I would like just sit in the corner and I would just wait for someone to walk in. Like,
are you absolutely kidding me? Are you camping in real life paintball? Come on now.
I was camping in real life paintball. Like every game, like there was games where I took less than like 7 steps.
Wow, Ian, come on, bro.
Yeah,
I need you on offense.
We had teams, and there was another dude who was really bad. His name was also John, but it wasn't my friend John. But this dude was cool, and we were definitely like the 2 worst people there. And it was funny because we had just like shitty survival instincts together, and we would always end up like in the same place, like not on purpose. Like we'd always like end up hiding behind the same thing. I was like, oh, like we suck.
That's unfortunate.
And we'd end up hiding behind like a thing that like was definitely made for one person to hide behind, and getting lit up. Anyway, paintball. Yeah, my camping strategy didn't really work. I got like 2 quote unquote like kills in the first 3 games, and I was like, oh, like just from camping. I was like, maybe I didn't hit anyone the rest of the day. It was like super beginner's luck.
That sucks.
And both of them, because it's like a big gun, I guess.
Yeah.
Paint rifle, and you hold like 2 hands on it, and both of mine, I only had 1 on it. Cause like I would like be chilling and this shit was kind of heavy, and someone would walk in, I would just be like, pew, 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 just like hip fire. And that was like both the ones I got. The one dude I got, he didn't realize he hadn't turned his safety off, and that was the only reason I got him.
No, you would have got him even if his safety was on. Come on now. You're a train killer. You're a train killer.
I am.
So did you get hit a lot?
Bro, I got like welts on my leg.
See, that's my thing, right? Because I went paintballing when I was in middle school. And I wasn't prepared for it to hurt so bad. I got like hit above my neck. I had like these like crazy like Master Chief Halo 3 goggles on. So I thought I was protected, but I got hit above my neck. Bro, it was not the wave. Like I was supposed to go paintballing again my sophomore year of high school in the woods. Bro, I didn't hop on the bus. Like I acted like I missed the bus. Like we were like camping in this campgrounds and the bus came to pick everybody up to go paintballing. And I was like, quote unquote, in the bathroom. But in reality, I was just like hiding and crying in the urinal. I didn't want to hop on the bus. That hurts, bro. So if you're into paintballing, bro, shout out to you because I can't do that.
Shout out to you. There's no shame in like kind of being, I'm trying to think of like a phrase that's better than like being a bitch. But like there's no shame in like, you know, being a bitch sometimes. Like at one point, bro, I could feel like the paintballs and hear them like whizzing past me. I didn't know where they were coming from. And you like raise your hand when you're hit. I just raised my hand. I raised my hand.
You know
I wasn't trying to get hit. I was like, they gonna hit me eventually anyway. I don't even know where these are coming from. There's nowhere to run to because you know I'm camping. So I just raised my hand. I was like, y'all got me. And they were, bro, it's funny because that's the whole thing. They're like, where'd you get hit? Where'd you get hit? When you go, it's like the death zone. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm like wiping paint like on myself. I'm like right here, bro.
Yeah, that's clearly.
I'm like picking the like bursting paintballs off the ground and literally or taking them out of my canister, crushing it, and like wiping it on myself. I'm like, bro, I got nailed right in the mask.
Yeah. Who was that said? I remember one time that reminds me of a story where because I'm on that wave too, as far as like making it look like you contributed more than actually contributing. I was supposed to like help paint someone's house one time. And it was like we were going on this like break and they were like, oh, so were you like painting? And I grabbed a bunch of paint and I threw it all over my shirt and I was just painting my shirt. You just made your own
gallery department jeans.
I made my own gallery department jeans.
DIY gallery department.
I was like, yeah, I've been painting. I need a break. Like, can't you see all this paint on my shirt? And that just reminded me of that moment right there. But yeah, I'm on that same wave too.
Yeah, same energy, bro. And if we're like making it a fashion thing. So we had like a private party. So luckily we're only playing against each other. And like I still got fucked up in that. But like if we were playing against like the kids that hang out there, bro, these kids had like full military uniforms with like patches and like it was
ghillie suits and all that.
Yeah, ghillie suits. I was like, bro, what?
The one I went to, they would give you their own. Oh yeah, so wait, well, okay, forget what I was gonna say. What did you wear when you went there?
I wore all black. So I wore like black nylon, like kind of like ski pants. They weren't ski pants, but like that material. Fear of God chucks, like a long sleeve black t-shirt and a Raiders hat. It honestly wasn't like paintball material. It was just a cool outfit.
I would try to make like a survival of the fitted pun, but you got lit up and you didn't survive. So that's unfortunate. But
no, it was survival of the least fitted.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go paintballing now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun, but it's like one of those things that's like fun. Like I'm not gonna do this again for like 3 years, 5 years.
It's like once every leap year, you might pop out to the paintball grounds.
Yeah, every like February 29th, survival of the fitted paintball match in Los Angeles at the Hollywood Paintball Park. That's not in Hollywood.
Talk to him. Something else that happened this weekend.
Let's talk about real basketball stuff.
I was super uncultured. I don't know what's going on with me, but I was I didn't know the ESPYs happened, and that sucks because I used to be so stoked to watch that show. Like when Drake was hosting.
I used to watch the ESPYs like with my mom. We would like plan to like watch it like the same way we'd watch like the Oscars or Grammys or something. Like remember when like Drake hosted? It was awesome. I thought the ESPYs hadn't happened in like I thought like the last time we had the ESPYs was like pre-COVID. I guess they're still going strong and like Stephen Curry hosted. Klay Thompson got a fire suit off. I don't know if you saw. A lot of the ESPYs fits were kind of bland, but Jared Vanderbilt and Klay Thompson, they dressed the fuck up. They killed
Vando always gonna come through. Come on now. We know this to be a fact.
Vando's always gonna come through.
But yeah. Did you catch some of the highlights from Steph Curry hosting or?
I saw like he made like one LeBron joke, but I didn't catch the other stuff. Like I said, I didn't even know these like still like the ESPYs were still around.
Yo, do they still have the NBA awards?
No, I don't think so.
The potential was there.
Bro, I thought the NBA awards were cool. I didn't go to it, but I went to the red carpet one year. And it was super fun. It was just like a red carpet of like cool ass NBA players. That's where we asked Lou Will to unblock LeagueFits.
Shout out Lou Will.
Yeah, if you remember that video. Why, you want to like talk about some of the highlights you saw?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was just like, you know what I'm saying, hopping in my nostalgic bag, and I was watching some of the highlights from Steph Curry, and I was just like, you could see where the punchline was supposed to be, but I'm saying he's not like a host, he's not a personality. Like he got famous from shooting ridiculous three-pointers.
Why don't we host the ESPYs?
Yeah, so what I was saying was like, yeah, it's crazy, but like Drake, it just made me appreciate Drake more. Like Drake is really like a Swiss Army knife of entertainment in this culture.
The Drake ESPYs were really funny,
and the Drake NBA awards are like good too. I just think he's a good dude, man. Shout out Drake.
Drake is funny, like straight up. You can call it Drake corny, cheesy, whatever. Like, dude is like a funny personality.
Yeah,
like
I agree with you on that.
Like I know he picked rapping, and obviously has a background in acting, but like he probably would have ended up famous, like no matter what he ended up deciding to do.
There's a few people like that. I believe that about.
Yeah,
like they could have gone multitudes of routes, and we still would be seeing them on our iPhones every now and then.
Fact. Like Odell.
Drake is 100%.
Odell was going to be famous no matter what.
Oh yeah, I think you've mentioned that before too.
Yeah, like he could have had no athletic skill. He would have ended up famous somehow.
He would have been like some. I think Odell would have popped off on that like hit them folks like era. Like I could see him being like insta famous, just dancing.
He would have been like a Vine dance star.
Yeah, he would have been like a Vine dance star, and that would have translated to like TikTok. I don't know. I would have seen Odell with like.
I could see that
on that.
That makes sense.
I think Chris Brown would have been famous if he was like whatever else, just because he's like too talented. There's some other people like that too.
Fact. Chris Brown could have been in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, by the time you're listening to this, the Scottie Barnes slam cover has dropped.
Oh, that'd have been a good segue. You know I'm the king of the segues. I'd have been like, speaking of the six, Scottie Barnes. Like I'd be lighting up.
Speaking of Drake, who's from Toronto, you guys remember when Joe talked about his New York trip, which I wasn't on. It was because I was in Toronto producing and styling the Scottie Barnes shoot. And I promise this isn't just like the pod where we say every single NBA player is cool. But Scottie Barnes, very cool.
Cool guy. Very
cool. Also just like hilarious. We did like a few outfits. Some are in the magazine, some aren't. But he was like the funniest dude ever. Like I'm a certified Scottie Barnes fan now.
He strikes me as a funny guy. I think he had like a funny quote about like Joel Embiid on like some 2K thing recently.
Oh, I saw that video. He opened like a Joel Embiid card in like a My Team pack, and they had lost to the Sixers in the playoffs. He's like, "Ooh, I'm selling this one ASAP." Like, dude is just very, very funny. So anyway, you guys should go cop his Slam magazine. You can order it, slamgoods.com. You know how it goes.
You know how that go. Oh, another cool story too. And this happened before too. My cousin, this is like a personal story. Because we're speaking of the actual magazine.
Yeah.
My cousin was in line the other day. It was like the coolest thing ever. She was in line the other day with her husband. And her husband's like the biggest Warrior fan ever. And then he's seen like the Slam magazine of like the Warriors Dynasty one. Like they have like this magazine. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, can we get this?" And she was like, "Nah, like we don't need a magazine." And he was just like flipping through it in line. He's like, "Is this Joe?" Like on the whatever page.
The mass
and then yeah, exactly. And she was like, "What the heck? Like that's my cousin Joe. We have to buy this magazine." And they bought the magazine. They just sent me the photos and stuff like that. So shout out to them, bro. Was it the pod
ad which has like the picture of us, or was it like the staff list, the mass ad?
Oh no, it was the pod ad.
See, that's even better. It's not even the name. It's like,
that's fire. It was like, "Is this Joe?" And they bought them and they texted me the pictures and everything. That's fire. So shout out to them, bro.
That's epic, to see dude. It. That's a really cool moment.
Yeah, shout out Chris and Sassy. Y'all are some killers. Appreciate y'all for real.
We'll call it a week. Good news for y'all is we're back with another NBA player stylist duo on Thursday. Got another NBA player booked for the next week. So I think you'll be getting a heavy dosage of me, Joe pods and guest led pods in the near future. But anyway, it's good to be back.
Shout out Chrome Hearts too for changing my life for the better. Appreciate you.
Word.
Go follow Survival of the Fitted wherever you get your podcasts. Tell them that intern Joe sent you. Click the follow button. Go follow Survival of the Fitted.